Have you ever thought about learning a new language? I mean, really thought about it? Turns out, it's way more than just a cool party trick. It's like a serious upgrade for your brain, and, as we're about to find out, for your wallet too. So let's get into it.
So let's just start with the big one, right? Could speaking another language actually make you healthier and wealthier? Well, the data points to a huge yes. But how? How does that even work? Let's break it down.
All right, first up, let's talk about what's in it for you. This isn't just about being able to order a coffee in Paris. It's about what's happening inside your own head. Seriously, think of learning a new language as the ultimate workout for your brain.
And this is where it gets pretty wild. The research is so clear on this. Being multilingual is linked to delaying the onset of dementia. I mean, just stop and think about that for a second. That is incredible. But the benefits, they start way, way earlier. We're talking about a better ability to concentrate, being able to process information faster, even becoming a better problem solver. It can even foster greater empathy. You are literally building a stronger, more resilient brain. You're physically changing it for the better.
So, a healthier brain, that's a huge win, no question. But what about the economic side? How does that brain upgrade translate into, a bigger paycheck? Let's use California, America's most diverse state, as a perfect case study. So just to give you an idea of the scale we're talking about, check this out. In California, almost 60% of young kids are growing up in multilingual households. That is way above the national average of 33%. So you see, this isn't some tiny niche group. This is the future workforce. It's a massive and often totally untapped economic asset. And just look at the potential that's already sitting in the school system. Out of nearly 2.4 million multilingual students in California, a whopping 86% are either already fluent in English or well on their way. This means these kids are successfully learning English while holding on to their home language. That creates this huge, amazing pool of bilingual talent just waiting to happen.
Okay, so we've got this incredible pool of talent, but is anyone actually looking for them? Is there a demand? Oh, you better believe it. In just one decade, job postings in California that were looking for bilingual skills didn't just tick up, they exploded. They almost quadrupled. Employers everywhere, from healthcare to sales, are actively hunting for people who can speak more than one language.
So what's the actual payoff for all this demand? Well, for the top earners, it is staggering. Bilingual households in the top 20% earn a median of, get this, $100,000 more than similar monolingual households. That is the kind of incredible earning potential we're talking about.
And look, it's not just the top earners, not by a long shot. If monolingual households could just reach the same income levels as their bilingual neighbors, they'd see an average income boost of over $15,000 a year. I mean, think about what that means for a family. That's life-changing money.
Let's just pause on that number for a second. $15,519. What does that actually mean for a real family, for their kids, for their future?
Well, it means security. It means a full year of childcare. That's a year of transportation, a year's worth of groceries, a year of medical expenses covered. You see, it's not just a number on a spreadsheet. It's the difference between just getting by and having real, tangible security.
Okay, now let's zoom all the way out. For the entire state of California, the collective potential here is absolutely enormous. We are talking about an economic opportunity worth nearly $30 billion every single year. That's a massive boost for families, for communities, and for the entire state's economy. So the why is crystal clear, right? Healthier brains, stronger economy. But how do we actually unlock this $30 billion opportunity? Well, it all starts with how we think about teaching languages in the first place.
For a long time, the old way of doing things was transitional. Basically, you'd use a kid's home language just long enough to get them to speak English, and then you'd just drop it. The goal wasn't really multilingualism, it was assimilation. But the gold standard today is something called two-way immersion. This is a total game changer. It's where native English speakers and multilingual learners are in the same classroom, learning from and with each other. The goal isn't just surviving in one language, it's true fluency in two, creating citizens who are not just bilingual but bicultural.
Okay, so let's say you're convinced. You want the brain benefits, you want a bigger paycheck. The obvious next question is, which language should you learn? Let's take a look at a global shortlist of some of the most valuable languages for the future.
And hey, this list wasn't just pulled out of thin air. It's based on 4 really solid criteria: the economic muscle of the countries that speak the language, the sheer number of people who speak it now and in the future, its influence in big global institutions like the UN, and, of course, the actual demand for it in booming industries like tech and finance.
First up, we've got the established heavyweights. Of course, you have Mandarin and English, the absolute giants of global trade and tech. Spanish opens up massive economies in Latin America. Arabic is critical for energy and finance. And you can't forget French and German, which are still incredibly important for diplomacy and high-tech engineering, especially across Europe.
Now let's look at the high-growth languages, the ones to really watch. Hindi is the language of India, a powerhouse in IT. Japanese is essential if you're in the world of cars or electronics. Portuguese is your gateway to Brazil's huge energy sector. And Korean, its value is just skyrocketing thanks to giants in tech and, yes, the global phenomenon that is K-pop. And finally, Indonesian and Swahili are opening up the booming markets of Southeast Asia and East Africa.
So, we've seen the powerful cognitive boost, the undeniable economic upside, and even a roadmap of languages that are shaping our future. And all of that brings us to the final and, I think, most personal question of all.
This quote just nails the shift we've been talking about. What was once, believe it or not, seen as a barrier, a problem, is now finally being recognized for what it truly is, a massive asset. For you, for companies, and for entire economies.
So here's the bottom line. The evidence is just overwhelming. Learning another language is one of the single best investments you can make in yourself. It can literally reshape your brain for the better and transform your financial future. So the only question left really is, what language will you choose?